Hi guys, I'm back again with your weekly market forecast for Forex. So we're going to make a start with the Euro Yen. We can see that this has been in a clear uptrend, starting from this low here. Went up to this point here, pulled back, and now we're on the way up again. Now, we could be heading for a pullback, but we've broken this fractal here. So I think it could continue higher before it starts pulling back. We are getting a bit of distance between from Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, and they are pulling away from each other. We've got a bright future, a bullish future, cloud, and Chico's above price. So everything's clear to the upside. So we need to make sure there's no news. We need to check the news. We always check the news before we trade, and I've not checked the news today yet, so we need to make sure there's no news that might affect the trade. But we could effectively take that trade there and put a stop loss behind that candle, the candle that broke. So we'd enter there and put a stop loss down there, which should be about 50 pips, and it's not closed too far above that fractal either. If we want to be really safe, we could probably put the stop loss down here, but then you're talking about 80 pip, probably 80 to 100 pip plus stop loss. So that's the Euro Yen. Pound USD. This is 4-hour charts. I always check the 4-hour chart. I don't trade any lower, and I don't trade any higher. I always trade 4-hour. I might have a glance at the daily here and there if I can't work out what's going on, but I don't need to look at the daily on this pair or the last pair because I can see what's going on. The daily's not going to tell me any different. So if I just show you, I'll put the daily on because we're in a clear uptrend anyway. So you can see the daily's not going to tell me anything. You know, there's nothing there to tell me what price is going to do. So my advice is just trade your time frame. You know, even if it's your 5 minute or your 1 minute, trade your time frame. You glance at another time frame, the higher one, but trade your time frame. That's my advice. So I'll go back to the 4-hour. I didn't actually no, forget that. I was going to say I had a trade plan, but I didn't actually take it. So I was waiting for the pullback, and it didn't happen. Just here, I thought when we got this red candle here, last week I thought we might pull back down to this level, but I didn't take it because we didn't pull back far enough. So we can see we've got some distance between Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen here, so we could easily pull back. I don't see an opportunity at the moment on that pair, and this is my favourite pair as well. So that's why I was a bit disappointed last week when that didn't pull back far enough. So USD Yen, again we've got a fractal break here. We're getting some distance between from Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen. You can see how steep the future cloud is, sloping up, but it's getting quite thick. So again we could see some pullback, but we've closed above that fractal there, so you know, you won't be wrong for taking a trade to the upside on this pair. We had a really big rejection bar there, which could have quite easily sent the price back down, but it seems to have disobeyed that and closed above. With that candle there, it's closed above. So I'll just put that line on. We've closed above there. That candle closed on it, and then we had that bit of a rejection there, and then we closed above that fractal, so we could see some to the upside. We could trade this now, and really we should have been in there, but we're a bit late, but we could trade it. I prefer trading pullbacks, to be honest. I don't trade a lot of these fractal breaks, although they do work quite a lot, or quite often. So, but I don't trade a lot of them. I prefer price pulling back, and then I like to try and get a better entry. It just makes me feel more comfortable. It all depends on what sort of trader you are. If you're a breakout trader, then you'd take that. So that's the Aussie yen. That's the USD yen. Onto the Aussie yen. Now this is the type of trade I'd normally take. This pullback here, wait for these pullbacks. And you can see we're pulling back at the moment, and we might pull back to this Tenkan Sen. So I'm waiting on this, and I'm going to be watching it. And I'll set an alert. I've not set one yet, but I'll set an alert here in this region at about 88.80, and then I'll see how price reacts at that level. And if we get a rejection, some sort of rejection bar, I'll take that trade to the upside, because you can see the future clouds pointing up, the Tenkan Sen's pointing up, and Kijun Sen's not far behind, and the Chikou span's above price. So everything looks bullish, and it looks like we're in a clear uptrend, and we expect some pullbacks. Okay, now I don't often talk about targets, but because I usually just trail and try and get as much as I can out of the trade. So on this, obviously, if you take this trade, if we get some rejection here and we take the trade, obviously the first level that we'd look at for target is there. So I'll put a green line there. So if we took the trade somewhere here, with that, obviously that's the first target. And then if we get above that, we'd watch it closely then at that point, and then see if we can get above that. And obviously if we close above that fractal, then we can move the stop loss. I'd take my stop loss and move it right up to the just below the fractal level. So that's how I work it. And usually if we break, we're going to do that leg again. So I'll just show you quick. So if, let's say for instance we get in here, we've moved that leg already, so that's 70 pips roughly, 71 pips. We could pull back to this level, and then we could move another 70 pips in that direction. And if you look here, you take that from there, from here, we moved up 85 pips, and we pulled back slightly, so we would have expected that to move another 85 pips, but it didn't quite make it. Made it to about 75. But we'd expect, I think it's called a 1-to-1 ratio, or the traders call it. So we move one, pull back, and then move another one. And the A, B, C, D, some people call it. A to B equals C to D. So A to B equals C to D. Okay? And we're breaking bull fractals. Look, we've broken the bull fractal here, the first one. We broke a bear fractal, but it was ranging all over the place here, so we'd ignore all this. We don't trade this stuff. We made another fractal there, and then it broke, and we wouldn't have taken that because we'd have been looking at this fractal here, and we'd have seen all this, so we'd have ignored that. Then we saw this, and we wouldn't have taken that either because it still didn't break, so I'll put a line on. I'll move this line down to show you. So that didn't break, and then this one broke. Now we'd have probably because it was ranging here, we'd have probably expected a bit of a pullback here. So it broke, and we did get the pullback a few candles later. So if we'd have been patient, I mean, if we'd have taken it there, we'd have made a few pips, but then we'd have had to get out with, just above break even. By the way, we never want to get out just at break even. We always want to get a few pips out of it. So if it moves 25 or 30 pips in your direction, I don't just move to break even. We want to move just 5 pips above break even, so that we can account for the spread and things like that. So we don't want to get out at break even. We want to just make a few pips. If it's already moved 25, 30 pips, we don't want to let it come back and take us for a loss. So you can see here, we'd have been looking at this, we'd have been waiting for the pullback, and then it pulled back. It did pull back. We made a big pin bar. Then we could have taken the trade here. Look. So that's how we trade these ranges. We wait for it to break, pull back, and then we take the trade. And I missed this one. So if we'd have taken that, we'd have got about 100 pips. 88.20 to 89. Yeah, about 110 pips. So now we're waiting on this pulling back again. You can see we pulled back there. That big rejection bar there, that'll have confused quite a lot of traders, but it might have been news. So we're just waiting on this to pull back now. So we need I'll probably set an alert on this at this level. Tenkan Sen. I don't usually take Tenkan Sen, but I like the look of this trend going up and this pullback. You can see we pulled back to that fractal there, look. There. Bang on. So we pulled back to that fractal, and then we went higher. But it gapped up. So there must have been some news or something there, or weekend. Because it closed there and then opened higher. So we gapped up there, and now we're pulling back. So that's the Aussie yen. Euro Aussie. Now I've put this pair on because it looks like we're having a Kumo breakout, which is one of the Ichimoku trades. If you don't understand all about Ichimoku, then you could go to my website, and I've got a course on there to teach Ichimoku and show all my trading strategies, and everything's included, price action and everything. So we're ranging here, but it looks like we've got a Kumo breakout. So again, what we could do is, because we're in a range, I'll put a line on. So we're in a range. So that range there, that's the high. Well, what we want to do is break and then pull back. Then we can take it at this level here. You can see I've got this daily Kijun Sen on here as well. So that's quite relevant. So it looks like we've broken that. We're breaking the top of the cloud. And now we could pull back because we've got a fractal here anyway, where this line is. So we could pull back to this level, and then again it's a pullback trade, so we'd take it to the upside. So that's the Euro Aussie. Euro CAD. This one is ranging. Now we can trade these ranges if they're a big enough range. So I'll put 2 lines on where the range is. So that's more or less the range. There. So that's the range. About there, I'd say. So you can see it's not exact, but we sort of made a couple of lows here, there and there, went up to this level, came back, and now we're back at that level again. So we could trade it to the bottom of this range here, which would give us about 150 pips. So it might not look much good, but there's 150 pips there. if we get some price action here, we could trade that to the downside. Ranges are not something I trade very often, but I do keep an eye on them, and quite a lot of them work out if you get it right. So that's the Euro CAD. That, by the way, that'd be going against Ichimoku, because we've got a bullish TK cross there, but we have to check. We ignore Ichimoku in a ranging market, so it doesn't work very well. So we ignore it in a ranging market. So you can see there, we'd be trading it against the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, although we'd be bouncing off the cloud, and we have got a bearish cloud. And the Chico's above price, so we could see some volatility around this area. This Chico's quite important. Okay, and Chico's projected, this is the projection of price 26 periods back. So 26 candles back, that's where Chico is. So if we can't get through these candles here, and Chico gets tangled up in that price, then our price here will probably get tangled up and not do anything until it can break free. So that'd be against the TK cross as well. So we've got three things there: Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen and Chico that are facing the opposite direction we'd be trading. But again, Ichimoku's no good in ranging markets, it's for a trending market. So that's the Euro CAD. Euro Pound. Again, this one's been very bearish, and it looks like we're getting a pullback. Okay, so I'd probably look at pulling back to this level. Maybe not all the way to Kijun-sen, but I'd probably want to break Tenkan-sen and pull back to this fractal level, and then see what price action we get. So I'll probably put in an alert somewhere in this area. These are the sort of trades I like, the ones that are moving and then pull back. These are the ones that I take most of the time. I'm not in trades every day. Sometimes I might not trade for a week or 2 weeks, but when I'm in a good trade, I can make 150, 200, 250 pips. I don't trade just for trading's sake. I wait for a good chance, and then I trade. And that's how you become profitable. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This one's not a great setup, but we could get a bounce here to the upside. It's a bit of a range, but we could get some movement. Because we're quite far from the top of the range, I'd probably take this one. Because if we get some rejection here, we've got the cloud and we've got Kijun-sen. 2 major levels, and we've got this fractal level here. So 3 major indicators telling us that we could go to the upside. We just need to wait on the price action and get a trigger to the upside. We always need to wait for it. I don't just trade the level. I don't just wait for it to come down here. I wait for a trigger to take me in. Again, I'll talk about all that in the course as well in detail. That's my website, tradingtoprofit.com. I'll put the link in the description anyway. And then we can trade to the upside, and we've got a bullish future. And Chico is smack in the middle of price at the moment, so that's not a very good sign. That's probably why it's done all this ranging. We need Chico outside of this price, really. But I'd probably still take this if we get some price action here to the upside. If you're viewing this video for the first time, it'd be nice if you could subscribe as well, or comment. It'd be nice. I don't often ask for feedback, but today I'm asking, because it'd be nice to build some subscribers, and then you get the videos in your feed when you log into YouTube. So, but if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, or anything that you don't want me to talk about and things like that, just put it in the comments. So, and then that'd give me some good feedback to make the videos better. So here we broke this fractal level here where this grey line is, and now it looks like we're trying to pull back. And this is again one of my favourite trades. So we broke this level, we're going to pull back. We are pulling back, and it just depends how far we pull back. We'll see what happens here. When I've finished this video, I'll be setting some alerts, and I'll be putting an alert here somewhere. I don't set my alerts until I've finished the video, because all the lines would be, when you put a line on when you put an alert on FXCM, it puts your lines on. And I don't want that to confuse everybody when I'm making a video, so I'll put my alerts on when I've made the video. And also, this is the first time really I look at it anyway when I make the video. So I have a quick glance through all the pairs before I start the video. The ones that are ranging or just doing nothing, I ignore, and the ones that I see a potential opportunity on, I put up the top here. Oh, you probably can't see it, it's off the screen, but I put the pairs along the top of the FXCM trading state market scope. That's the software I use, market scope, because it's simple, it's quick, it doesn't give me any problems when I'm capturing the screen either, and it's easy to put things on, and it's easy to see and navigate around. It's just I love it. I've looked at quite a few different trading software, and this one's the best that I've found. So like I say, I put my alerts on at the end of the video, and I'll be putting an alert here on this one, about 80.70 it is, so I'll be setting the alert there. By the way, if I ever go quiet, it's because I'm just studying the chart, because again, really I just have a quick glance and I see if there's a chance on the horizon to an opportunity, and then but I don't look in detail. So if it goes quiet, it's because I'm actually doing this live, if you like, so I'm looking at it for myself as well to see what trading opportunities are presented. So there's nothing pre-planned about it or anything. It's just a case of whizzing through, finding the pairs that are showing some good opportunity in the future, and then I talk about it with you guys on the video. And that's why I go quiet sometimes, because I am actually thinking about it myself and studying the chart. So this is the New Zealand dollar yen, and we're just waiting on price to see how far it pulls back, and we want some price action, then we obviously take it to the upside. This is all the same. I mean, this looks probably simple because I'm picking the pairs out that are showing opportunities. But let's just have a look at. I'll just show you a pair that's not showing any opportunity. Let's try this. See what I haven't got above on the top. Euro, pound yen. Let's have a look at this pound. I haven't got this on, so let's see why I've not got it on. Because it's gone up very far, this pair, and it's not doing anything at the moment. We can see these. We've made 3 dojis there, so it's not doing anything. So until it starts doing something, I'm expecting this to pull back. This is a pair that I ignored. You see, I'll be ignoring this pair because even if it breaks this level, it's made very big moves. Okay, when you look at a lot of charts, you start getting used to what price does, and it's made a lot of big moves here, and now we've made some dojis, so that tells me it doesn't know what to do. So if it doesn't know what to do, then I don't know what to do. So even though it looks, you could say, oh well, it's moving up. But as soon as you get in here, it'd probably pull back and take you out. So this is one of why I ignored this pair. Okay. So that's the reason I leave some pairs off. I'll just have a look at another one. See why I ignored it. USD CAD. So look at this. Now look at the state of this one. And this is why these pairs get ignored and they don't make it to my short list. So even though it might look like I'm talking about pairs that are moving all the time, that's the reason. Because look at the state of this. It's ridiculous. No, you can't trade this. This is where you lose your money. Because look, we're breaking bull fractals here. So you take a trade there, thinking it was going, because there's no ranging going on here. So you take that trade to the upside there, and you get stopped out because your stop loss would be behind there. So that's one loss. Then you think, well, it's broke again there. Nice big bullish candle. So you take that trade there, and it's pulled back again. Now you probably wouldn't take that because that candle's too big. Now this is it. This is the thing. You see, you need the correct candles as well. It's not just a case of, oh, I've got a doji there and I've got a big bullish candle there, so I'll take that trade and put my stop loss down here. Because the candle's too big. Your stop loss would have been about 100 pips there, which is fair enough if you can afford 100 pips. But I never have a stop loss with that amount of pips, 100 pips. The biggest stop loss I'd have is probably 70, 80 pips, and that's very rare. But you can see what happened here. It made a big bullish candle, and then it pulled back, and you'd be thinking, well, you'd be quite scared here that, you're in a loss, sat in a loss. Then it'd start going up, and you'd think, oh, I made some profit there, come all the way back down, and then it'd come down here and take you out. That's 100 pips gone. So that's 2 trades they've lost. So you can't trade this. No, you can't trade this, no chance. You haven't got a chance trading this, because it'd just fool you into doing other things. So, and even if you did make a little bit of profit, you can see here you'd be 10-20 pips in profit and then immediately start coming back. And you can't really move your stop loss with 15-20 pips, because you need to give the market room to move. So I usually move my stop loss at about 30-35 pips, and like I say, I usually allow 5 pips profit, never break even. So so this is the reason that I leave these alone. The range is not really big enough or defined enough to trade it, because you can see it's all over the place. If you just look at these fractals, bull fractal breaks here, bear fractal breaks here. So you can't trade that stuff. So we ignore that totally, and that's why I leave these sort of pairs off. There's no point in me talking about this, because there's nothing happening. There's nothing to talk about. It's just garbage at the moment, all over the place. So that was. So let me just go back to this so that I just know where I am. So this is the one I was talking about before I got distracted. I'm going to set in the price alert here at 80.70. Okay, and see if we can get some. We're still pulling back here, so we'll see how far we can pull back. Hopefully we might pull back right back to this fractal level. It's always better if we pull back to one of these fractal levels for added confirmation, because then we know that's right at Kijun-sen at the moment. But Kijun-sen will probably start flattening out now because we're pulling back. So if price doesn't go any higher, Kijun-sen will probably start pulling back. In fact, Kijun-sen follows this. It's 26 periods, so it'll follow the 26 candle back. Okay, so that's the New Zealand dollar yen. Aussie New Zealand dollar. This is another potential opportunity. I mean, there's a bit of range in here, but my reckoning is if we can pull back to one of these levels, that fractal or that fractal, we're at Tenkan Sen, and Kijun Sen will probably be down there as well then. Get some price action, we can chance and take it to the downside. Although we've got this, a bit of rubbish here, I'd take the chance because of the way we moved here. These 4 big red candles, and we're pointing down with the Tenkan Sen and Kijun Sen. Chico's below price, which is good. So even though we've got this here, we've got Chico not getting tangled up in any of this, and we've got a bearish future. So this is another one that's on the cards, and I'll be placing an alert there to see if we can get some price action there. So there's quite a few pairs today that I've looked at, and this video is a bit longer, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 10 pairs there I've talked about, all with potential opportunities, but it's all about waiting for that price action. If you're new to trading, you could take my course. It's about 6.5, 7 hours long, and it's on my website tradingtoprofit.com, and you can become a member, and then if you pay for the course, you'll get access to all the any other videos that I put up and other things. And that's if you want to learn about price action and entries, targets, stops. I talk about the CCI as well, which we use for divergence. I talk about divergence, I talk about price action, I talk about all the Ichimoku components, how we trade ranges, how we trade trends. But I'll always be putting these videos on anyway, just to help people. So, and also you'll be able to, if you take the course, you'll be able to ask me questions as well. If you've got any questions about trading or how I trade, or anything really. I talk about money management as well in the course, and price action, candles to look for, reversal signals, all everything I use. I talk about everything I use. I don't talk about anything I don't use. I even touch on moving averages, although I don't. These are really moving averages. So, but I talk about moving averages just to get on to talking about Tenkan Sen and Kijun Sen. So I do touch on moving averages. I mean, I could trade off moving averages anyway. You just use moving averages without the Ichimoku. I could be profitable without the Ichimoku, and just with the moving averages and price action. Okay, so I've been trading for about 20 years, and I was trading stocks at first, made money with stocks. They don't move very fast, so you tend to look at the opportunity, and then you're in for months, sometimes years, with stocks. There's a lot of fundamental news as well to look at and things like that. So I started trading with stocks for a couple of years, and then I moved into Forex. Although Forex is quite difficult when you first start, because it seems to be all over the place, and it is all over the place. But you've got to filter out the good with the bad. You've got to filter the good trades from the bad trades. And like I say, I talk about all that in the course. So if you're new to trading or you're struggling with your trading, I'd strongly recommend taking the course. I mean, I'm not a salesman, but it's there if you need it, and you can ask me questions as well. Okay, so that's about it for today. If you made it all through this video, then thank you very much. and hopefully I'll see if I think about, if I get these price alerts and I think about it, I'll post the trade setups as well in the website, so it's well worth keep checking. But it's about getting these price alerts and getting the price action, and then I post it. Okay, so I try and make these videos every week. So I'm going to end here because it's getting up to 36 minutes, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.